whatnot, if you have choices of like not wearing animal skin or fur or whatnot, do you think that can still be justified to do that to someone if you don't necessarily need to?
That's a good question.
Yeah. What do you think?
I think that I guess I don't know. Do I do it? Yes.
Yeah.
Do I think it's like the most just? No. But I think that that's kind of the spectrum that we do all sorts of things on.
Hi.
You want to answer a few questions? Sure.
We're live on YouTube. Is that okay?
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'll have you stand right there, right in front of him.
All right. So, do you think the powerful should have the right to oppress the powerless?
No.
No. What about, let's say it's a situation where the powerful, they're stronger or they're smarter. Do you think that gives them the right to oppress someone who's maybe not as strong or not as smart?
I do not.
No? All right, so I'm going to ask you now, how do you feel about the animals that we exploit and send into slaughterhouses? Do you think since we're stronger, maybe smarter, do you think we have the right to send them into these situations?
I guess what I would say is not in the like mass way that is happening, but I do think that there is like a reasonable way to like consume animals.
Okay. So do you think though it's humane to so let's say you can give the animal, let's say like a good life, take care of them right now and all that. Do you still think it's humane to send them into a situation like a slaughterhouse or to essentially like commodify their body?
I do.
You do?
Yeah.
Why is that?
I guess I would say that as in the bigger organisms of the world or the way that the world is set up, that like we're beings that there's like carnivores and omnivores and herbivores, and that I think there's a humane way to like hunt or humanely raise an animal that gives them a good life and like a reasonable death.
Okay. But let's say like if you're in a situation where you don't necessarily need to do those things, like if you can derive, let's say like nutrients from other sources like plants or, for example, like clothing or whatnot, if you have choices of like not wearing animal skin or fur or whatnot, do you think that can still be justified to do that to someone if you don't necessarily need to?
That's a good question.
Yeah. What do you think?
I think that I guess I don't know. Do I do it? Yes.
Yeah.
Do I think it's like the most just? No. But I think that that's kind of the spectrum that we do all sorts of things on every day.
But I guess I want to ask, like, if you as an individual, if you have the choice, would you consider maybe making like a different choice if you have the option to?
I mean, I already do. I make like different choices to like reduce harm every day.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that the like bigger picture about like environmental, I think there are just, and I don't know. I think it's all on a spectrum. So.
Okay. I guess that's true. I mean, we obviously, all of us make choices.
Right, like
choices
we drive
and
cars, right? And we like buy stuff from Nike, and we do like things that cause harm to other humans. And so it's like I think that as individuals we like have to do our best to minimize harm and also like make decisions for ourselves.
Right. Well, I think you're right on the money with that. We should try our best to minimize harm. So I guess what I'm getting at, or what we're getting at, is like if you do have that choice, obviously maybe sometimes there's things that we can not avoid, like I'd say like practically like driving a car in today's society. I mean, not necessarily everybody, but there's certain things obviously that you maybe can't avoid that may cause harm. Mm-hmm. But in the instance of, let's say...
Can I ask you a question? Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah,
like, what's the social experiment? I'm trying to understand, like, I totally understand what you're arguing for, and, like, you could keep asking me the question to, like, the nth degree, but, like, what's the experiment?
We're just asking people essentially about their values and
Okay.
how they feel.
Yeah.
I mean, like how I originally stated, like how do you feel about
Yeah.
oppression, and like do you think it's justified to do what we do to non-human animals if we don't necessarily need to?
Yeah.
or
Well,
not
I'll
in a
keep thinking
situation?
about it, but I don't think that like maybe the method of like continuing to dig and dig might not get you the like, I don't know, the conversation that you want, because I understand that like you have your set of values and like I understand what you believe, but like it doesn't actually feel like a conversation. It feels like every time I say something, you kind of like dig further, which is fine.
I'm just trying
It's
to.
totally fine. I'm just, yeah.
Well-
I actually need to keep shopping, but I appreciate what you're doing, and like I hope that, I don't know, I just want to, I think just like understanding the social experiment, like I'm not sure that I get it.
We're trying to see how consistent people are. Some people say that they're fair, and we want to know, are you actually living in alignment with those principles?
Yeah, I'm trying.
So
my
you can
best.
do better. We
Yeah.
live in Portland.
We all can do better.
So if you were the victim, what would you want your oppressor to do? Would you want them to make the effort to not use you?
Yeah, cool guys.
So the animals are sentient, you're sentient.
Yeah.
Just bear that in mind. Every time you grab a package, you're demanding someone go through restrictions and support. That's so triggered.
I was gonna say I thought I was being respectful.
You were
I
so
wasn't
respectful. I
being
almost
rude.
wanted to lash at her just for getting. I'm like, are you kidding me? Nick is so incredible.
I think she started to get uncomfortable,
Yes.
and so she went to. Because I mean, she knew where I was going with that. Like, if you don't need to, why do it? And then she got uncomfortable, and so she